Round 23 of the NRL is calling, so let's see how many scores we can predict correct. But first, we've got to see how we did in round 22. And on Thursday, the 1st of August, we started with a banger because I did Cowboys to win by 18, and they won on the nose. Now, a very, very high-scoring game, entertaining one to watch. Tigers, they really did put up a good show at least, but they are not victors, and the majority win here. But because I get the exact score, I get 1.5, it shows me as. I should get more for a correct distance, but that's what it's showing as. Next, we had Friday the 2nd was Warriors versus Eels, and I got it wrong. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people got this one correct. These were certainly the underdogs and a performance that the Warriors did not want. I think now that has... Yeah, Warriors stand no chance of making it to the playoff finals now. I get absolutely nothing because Eels won by 10. That is annoying. But then Dolphins versus Roosters. Roosters, this is a good win for them, a bad loss for the Dolphins. It really is becoming crunch time now with who is going to reach the playoffs, and that really, really hurts the Dolphins. They're going to struggle now. They are going to struggle now. But Roosters pushing themselves, cementing them into 3rd place, just behind Storm and Panthers, with a 10-point win. Now, I'm a bit gutted. With a 6-point win. I did Roosters by 16. They didn't help me, annoyingly. 1 point for the win. Next was Titans versus Broncos. I'd had enough of Broncos. Broncos kept letting me down, so I went with the underdogs Titans. I say the underdogs. I don't think that's fair to say the underdogs. I know, well, they're now neck and neck in 12th and 13th, but Titans have had a way of beating better teams. And Broncos, they are just not performing. They are just not showing what they did last year. And I did Titans to win by 4, thinking it would be a close game. But Titans won by 28 points. Absolute romping. Titans next year, they certainly just need that little extra consistency for sure. Because they are a good side that can get results. 1 point for the win. Next, Storm, what are you doing? Great for Panthers. As a Panthers fan now, great for Panthers. Bad for Storm. It just gives us a chance to try and steal the minor premiership from them. But they lost by 2, and there was my prediction for a 22-point win for Storm. They lost by 2. I get absolutely nothing. Someone gets it bang on the money. Now, that's an interesting one because actually Dragons in 8th. They are in with a shout of playoffs. That is a massive, massive win for them. But I get nothing. No points at all. Okay, next was Sharks versus Rabbitohs. And as predicted, Rabbitohs, they've had their little burst and it is well and truly gone now. Sharks, good win for them. They needed it. They're finding a little bit of form again, which is what they needed. And I am 2 points off. I predicted them by 16. Sharks won by 14. So I get 1.5 points for that. Not bad at all. Not bad. Then Panthers versus Knights. And I was correct on the score. Less so on the points. Panthers won by 8. I thought it would be a little bit more emphatic than that. So I did them to win by 16. Get the win. No point for half. No half point for close score. Annoying. But that is brilliant. We're up in 2nd still with the Storm's loss. We only need them to slip up once and we can overtake them. Then last game of the week was Bulldogs versus Raiders. And as predicted, annoyingly, I was 1 point out for a close score. Bulldogs, I did by 10. They actually won by 4. Raiders did put up a fight, but I think, Raiders can still do it, but I think with their form, I think that's the season done for the Raiders. So how is the league table looking with everyone? Coolbajul still top. Hacksaw still 2nd. It is very tight. About 1.7 behind Coolbajul. Adelaide Bulldog is there as well in the fight. Brewpal up 1. Juby down 1. Aussie Tash back up one. Congratulations. Trying to stick it in the top 10. But the golden hat, G. Chapman. Fantastic. Fighting for the top 10. I think that's the best you're going to go for now. Kev up 5. I'm up 2. I'm trying to get in that top 10. I don't know if I'm going to make it. There are still a few weeks left. I've still got a chance. AU Beach Bum up 2 as well. New Elijah down 4. Rymeister up 2. Elmsey down 3. Aaron down 5. Stormy May up 4. The wooden spoon, though, goes to Pie Boy and is down 4 places. Oh, that's not good. Up the piles, up 2. K-Power 96 down 3. Any other big movers? I don't think so. Let's see. Cooper F is up 5. And that is how the table finishes for this week. On to round 23, and we start on Thursday. Stadium Australia, Rabbitohs versus Storm. This is an interesting one, actually. But I do thoroughly believe now that the Rabbitohs are done for the season. They had their little burst. They had their little run of form. And it is gone. It is gone. They're against a Storm team who wants to maintain that top spot. And they certainly are favourites for this by a long shot. After that loss last week, I certainly cannot see them losing 2 in a row. And I would like to think they'll win fairly emphatically. I don't think there'll be an upset again like last week against the Dragons. So I'm going to go Storm by... Let's go 16. Storm by 16. Next up on Friday the 9th at Seabus Super Stadium, it is Titans versus Sharks. Now, this is a fascinating matchup because, as I said, Titans, they have the habit this season of beating the better teams, losing against the weaker teams. It's weird. They seem to raise their game. And look at the form of the Titans. Can the Titans still make the playoffs? Maybe. If they win the rest of their games, maybe. Sharks obviously won again last week, but their form has not been massively positive. But they will certainly probably do enough. They will probably do enough to get into the playoffs. I think they are. The talent of the team is good enough for sure. It'd be so funny if the Titans make top 8. That'd be so funny. They're only 4 points off, so we will see. And do you know what? Titans at home, they are the giant killers of this season. I am gonna go, and they are favourites. Amazingly, I'm gonna go Titans. By 4. Titans by 4. See if they can cause an I say cause an upset. Position-wise on the table, it's an upset. Okay, next, Combank Stadium, Parramatta Eels versus Panthers. Now, obviously, Eels, they got a result last week, which was not predicted against Storm. I don't know what happened with Storm last week. Against Warriors. Against Warriors, I think it was bit of pride, little bit of fortune, but the same result is not going to happen against a Panthers team who is fighting to be the minor premiers and to make it 4 in a row with the premiership. So I can't look anything past Panthers here. Penrith are too good. They are. I know Storm are top. But I still say Panthers are the best team in the league at the moment. I will still say that. And I would like to think they will destroy the Eels. So I'm going to go Panthers here by 22. Really, really good, confident win by the Panthers. I'm in no doubt of it. No doubt. Don't let me down, Panthers. Don't let me down, old Nathan Cleary. Come on. Then, next up, Saturday is at the GIO Stadium in Canberra. Raiders versus Sea Eagles. A fairly tight matchup here. Sea Eagles in 7th on 21 points. Raiders with 18 points down in 10th. Both got that chance of being in the playoffs, no doubt. It's not an easy one to call, actually. I know Seagull's form has been slightly better. But with Raiders' loss last week against the Bulldogs, that hurts. And I know Bulldogs aren't a bad team, so I'm not trying to take it away from them, but that hurts a little bit. Yeah, I know Manly are the favourites here. They are. But the performance against the Bulldogs was still a performance of wanting to make the playoffs. So, this is not an easy call today on this one. I'm going to go with Raiders. I'm going to go Raiders by 6. I just think, I know they lost last week, but they did put a fairly good performance in. So Raiders to win by 6, not easy. That is the toughest one so far. Next, Queensland Country Bank Stadium, Cowboys versus Broncos. Broncos are just a shadow of last year, aren't they? They are a shadow of last year. They've had opportunity after opportunity to progress, to push forward this season. They had a little burst earlier on and let themselves down. So I can't look past the Cowboys, who didn't start amazingly, but have just been flying since. So impressed with them. And Cowboys are making the right movement at the right time. And sometimes that is so important. If you look at over at the AFL with my teams, the Swans, top of the league, but all of a sudden we are getting destroyed. Cowboys, right time to perform well. I'm going to go with a decent win. Cowboys by 12. Cowboys by 12. A good win for them. Next, at the Netstrata Jubilee Stadium, it is Dragons versus Bulldogs. Another one that's not easy. Dragons in 8th, Bulldogs in 6th. Only 2 points between them. Both fighting for the playoffs, both in the playoffs at the moment. Form is similar-ish. It's a very, very important top 8 clash, this. Like, it's hard to emphasize how big this match is, actually, because they're similar teams fighting for the playoffs, similar points. With the upset scored against Storm last week, that really should boost motivation and confidence. And I think the Bulldogs did get a little bit banged up last week. So they may take a slightly fresher team. And when I say fresher, I mean more fringe players. So I'm going to give a win here to the Dragons, but only a short win here by 4. That is the game of the week, potentially. Fascinating matchup for sure. Then Sunday, 11th, at Suncorp Stadium, Dolphins versus Warriors. Now, both teams, Dolphins still have a chance to make top 8, but their form has been really, really poor. Warriors, yes, they could possibly make top 8, but their form has also been poor. Dolphins, they played well against the Roosters last week, so it's another one where, yes, they could have done okay, scoring a decent amount of points, 34 against 40. So there's signs that they can win, hence why I am going to go for them. And I just think Warriors have not had enough consistency. They haven't necessarily shown enough. I just think a Dolphins win here is very, very important for them. And they are showing more chance performance-wise than the Warriors. So let's go with the Dolphins win. Let's go by 10. 2 conversions. 2 tries, 1 conversion. Interesting matchup as well, to be fair, but Dragons Bulldogs is the match of the week so far. The last game is at McDonald Jones Stadium, Knights versus West Tigers. West Tigers are going to lose because they are rubbish. And though they did score a decent amount of tries last week, a decent amount of points, and it's another one where the Knights, is there a small chance? Probably not. But there is, against Tigers, that will put them in a fairly decent position. If they win this, it does put them in a good spot to try and have a last-ditch attempt. I just think, I think people should be confident in a Knights win, although they're not doing very well. They are against West Tigers, who are letting themselves down. Some bad performances. They've had performances where they've worked hard, but they're just not getting the results. So I'm going to finish off with Knights by 12. So my predictions this week: Storm by 16, Titans by 4, Panthers by 22, Raiders by 6, Cowboys by 12, Dragons by 4, Dolphins by 10, and Knights by 12. There's a few interesting matchups as it's getting closer and closer to the finish. That top 8 is very, very important, and actually even really from 14th and up can make the top 8, and that is just insane. That is making it so exciting, and there are teams there that can drop out if they do not perform in the final few weeks. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. You guys have been so good this year, and it's making it so much fun. So thank you so much. If you've enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and I will catch you next week.